Hey guys! Welcome to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. All the buzz and whispers are in this video, so settle in. Before we dive into the latest, don't forget to subscribe and share to keep this community growing. Thank you for being here. As the new year draws near, the entertainment scene is rattling with a wild claim that won't let up. Word from backrooms and private chats says two hugely admired TV favorites, Ozan Baba and Sinem, have quietly secured a suite at a top-tier Istanbul hotel specifically for New Year's Eve. No one from their teams has gone on the record, but this single detail has already sent ripples through the industry. The reservation, said to be confirmed at one of the most exclusive addresses with sweeping Bosphorus views, reportedly spans the final night of the year and bleeds into the first morning of the new one. What makes it stand out are the special conditions attached. Insiders attached to the property insist the booking was arranged with extreme care for discretion, security protocols adjusted, extra confidentiality agreements, and a plan for minimal staff exposure. That alone has kicked speculation into overdrive that Ozan Baba and Sinem intend to welcome the year together, away from the spotlight. Both stars have their own distinct rhythms in the public eye. Ozan Baba is often praised for keeping his private world sealed, letting his work do the talking, and showing up only when it matters. Meanwhile, Sinem, adored for her roles and her effortless charm, finds herself in headlines as much for her talent as for the curiosity around her personal choices. The fact that both are confirmed to be in Istanbul this week and haven't shared separate New Year's plans did not go unnoticed by the press corps lurking behind every red carpet and exit door. On social media, the alleged booking was instantly read by many as a clear signal, a spark, a turning point, a possible new romance. Observers say the hotel selection is telling. The venue is famous for its riverfront suites, private terraces hidden from prying eyes, and the invisible shields it throws up for public figures. It's routinely chosen by artists and moguls celebrating milestones far from camera flashes. With a calendar of opulent New Year's programming, black tie galas, curated menus, midnight ensembles, and surprise fireworks visible from secluded balconies, this doesn't sound like a throwaway weekend. If anything, it suggests intention. Yet, for now, Ozan Baba and Sinem have stayed absolutely quiet. No countdown captions. No cryptic stories hinting at where they'll be when the clock hits midnight. That hush has been read two ways, proof that something is indeed brewing, or just a convenient silence fueling gossip. Still, the fragments floating around are too tidy to ignore. Those who swap stories across dressing rooms and after parties insist a clearer picture will emerge as the countdown closes in. As the final days tick by, attention is increasingly locked on these two. The question burning through threads and group chats is simple: will they step into the new year under the same roof, or is this just one of those myths born from a slow news cycle? It took only one leaked note about a reservation to set the rumor mill spinning, and already it's become the New Year's Eve headline everyone's debating. Once the claim surfaced, everything lit up. Industry gossip grew louder and more confident, saying this isn't just random chatter, there are breadcrumbs that have been there for months, overlooked in the noise. People point out that Ozan and Sinem have been spotted at similar functions recently, moving in overlapping circles, sharing mutual friends' gatherings. None of that proves anything by itself, but in light of the hotel story, those coincidences look less like chance and more like a slow build. Leaked whispers from their inner orbits say both wanted a calmer New Year's this time, a quiet passage after relentless months on set, press days, and the constant public gaze. The interpretation making the rounds is that they've opted to celebrate privately, to exhale in a setting designed for breathing room rather than spectacle. The fact that both seemingly landed on the same sanctuary, the same night, has paved the way for theories that range from sweet to sensational. The most startling hints come from alleged hotel staff chatter. Word is that the booking was made under layers of confidentiality, with names kept off visible logs and hand-picked personnel assigned to specific floors. Staff movement may be restricted, elevators possibly locked to select keycards, room service delivered via back corridors. Those are not standard New Year's protocols. They're the kind of steps taken when the stakes are personal, when the night has meaning beyond a countdown. Social platforms have devoured the story. Fans are split into distinct camps. Some are celebrating already, believing this is the soft opening of a romance we never saw coming. Others urge restraint, suggesting the suite could be part of a larger group plan, mutual friends ringing in the year together without any romantic undertone. But the silence from both sides is feeding curiosity. With every passing hour, the question grows thornier. If nothing is going on, why not smother the rumor and move on? If something is brewing, is this the quiet before a reveal? Now, with scarcely any time left before the fireworks paint the sky, the speculation turns tactical. Would a timed post at midnight settle it? A single photo of a skyline from a distinctive terrace? Even the edge of a sleeve or a reflected silhouette could set off a chain reaction online. The entertainment world is holding its breath, waiting for a sign to confirm or collapse the myth. In the background, more puzzle pieces slide into place. People close to Ozan claim he told friends, not long before the leak, that this New Year's Eve would be a little different. He didn't elaborate. Meanwhile, talk around Sinem suggests she's been politely saying no to big invitations, stepping away from loud parties in favor of something more intimate. When you line those claims up with the stories about a secluded booking, the image that emerges is hard to dismiss. Fans, ever resourceful, are revisiting old interviews where both stars hinted at their holiday preferences. Ozan has, on more than one occasion, shared that he values meaningful time over noisy traditions. Sinem has spoken about the charm of simple rituals, of experiences that feel intentional rather than performative. Those remarks, resurfaced now, have the effect of underlining this rumor with a red pen. Fewer people are calling it coincidence, more are framing it as a Chapter 1 moment. Another layer to the talk is the suggestion that the hotel has been asked to organize something tailored, small but significant. A private dinner with a menu tasting, a custom playlist, perhaps a room sprinkled with details that speak to shared memories or new beginnings. Maybe even a surprise scheduled for after midnight, something that only matters if two people have decided to mark the moment together. This is not the scaffolding of a generic holiday plan, it reads like intention. The fact that Ozan Akbaba and Sinem Unsal have never been publicly linked before only turns up the volume. It's fresh, unexpected, and completely off the usual grid of celebrity pairings. Commentators are already dubbing it one of the year's most unpredictable claims, a story that seemed to materialize from thin air and yet somehow fits neatly into place once you look at the clues. And still, there are no statements. Neither camp has offered a denial, and no official rebuttal has landed to douse the flames. That strategic quiet can mean many things: respect for privacy, a plan to reveal on their own terms, or simply indifference to rumor. But in the world of celebrity, silence is rarely neutral. It often says more than a dozen press releases. What happens at the first light of the year could decide everything. If they appear at the same event, if a shared frame pops up, if a single post ties them to the same window view, expect the story to explode. If the sun rises and there's nothing but radio silence, the rumors might fade, or they might thicken, feeding on absence until the next clue surfaces. It takes very little to move the needle now. Meanwhile, friends of friends recount small observations that align with the larger rumor. Apparently Ozan has been more reflective lately, shifting plans around to protect a pocket of time. Sinem, likewise, is said to have arranged her schedule to avoid back-to-back obligations this week. Nothing dramatic. Just careful steps, as if the destination has purpose. In circles where the two have brushed shoulders, people talk about how their energies complement. Ozan's grounded presence, his measured pace, balancing Sinem's bright curiosity and playful grace. It's the kind of pairing that, if true, would make immediate sense. Quiet plus light. Warmth meeting steadiness. The kind of chemistry that doesn't need loud rooms to glow. There's also chatter about the view from that hotel, the sort of view that becomes a memory. Imagine the Bosphorus beneath a scatter of fireworks, the city's heartbeat pulsing through the water, the winter air crisp at the window. The clink of glasses, a muted playlist drifting through a room carefully arranged to feel almost like home. These details might be speculation, but they're not invented out of thin air. They match the kind of planning the property is known for when celebrities ask for something that feels both grand and personal. Of course, skeptics are not letting up. They point out that A-listers often book under pseudonyms, that suites are reserved for managers, stylists, entire crews, and that reading romance into logistics is a slippery game. They remind everyone that two people can choose the same peaceful haven without sharing more than a wave in a lobby. It's a fair point. But the scale of secrecy reported here is hard to chalk up to coincidence. If a revelation comes, it may be gentle, not grand. A shared laugh in a story, a reflected hand in a window, two coffee cups placed too close together in the corner of a frame. Sometimes beginnings don't arrive with fireworks, they arrive quietly, as if they've been here all along, waiting for us to notice. Until then, the city holds its breath and social feeds refresh compulsively. The gossip world is braced for impact because this rumor doesn't just entertain, it challenges our assumptions about what's been happening right under our noses. Whether this turns out to be the soft launch of something real or the neatest coincidence of the season, one thing is certain, Ozan Baba and Sinem have become the central mystery of New Year's Eve. So we wait. We watch the clock, we listen for footsteps in corridors, for the clatter of room service trays in back hallways. We imagine the reserved lift pinging softly to a floor few are allowed to access. We picture curtains closing, the soft glow of lamplight, voices muted to protect something fragile and new. It's a story that could become a memory by tomorrow, or vanish into rumor, leaving only the thrill of almost knowing. And that's where we'll leave it for now. If a post appears, if a photograph leaks, if a hint slips through, we'll be here to break it down with you. Thank you for watching Turkish Spotlight Secrets. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you're subscribed and share it with a friend who loves a good mystery. See you in the next one.